Episode 3. How do we get here?
Pow, pow, pow,
Oh,
pow, slicing you up with our witty nostalgia-ness. Ciao. Back
We're
again.
back.
I just slapped the table there. Sorry for the ASMR listeners.
Here we go. Bang. Hello there. I am Matt Parker.
I am Mark Page, and welcome to the Parker and Page podcast. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Woo.
Thanks.
Yeah. Encore. Hello. We're back again. Because we like it here, don't we?
Episode 3, we enjoy it. It just means we can have a laugh and a ramble on, and hopefully people will listen.
Hopefully.
We've made it this far, Matt.
They
can't get rid of us now.
No stopping us, mate. I've realised we have to leave it enough just so we can actually have a catch up as well as talk about the news. Obviously, we've got to let a little bit of time.
The news.
Yeah, leave that little gap so the news can trickle in and we can catch up over a week or so. However,
and what news has trickled in, Matthew? Oh my goodness me!
Some juicy gossip, mate. Right, let's go back a bit. So, did we cover the Wembley filming? Did we cover that?
Yes, because we had the unit soldiers in their uniforms.
Yeah, we had the unit soldiers.
Covered that.
Yeah.
I think
So
we're on Axminster Road now.
Axminster Road.
Oh my
where
goodness me.
all the action has been happening. Would you like to tell us more, Mark?
So,
what have you seen?
I've seen some weird things going on at Axminster Road. That's all I'm saying. There's an Easter bunny looking thing called Beep the Meep. There's a weird creature that stands on some weird stilt legs and walks around. They've blown up a unit lorry and set it on fire. Sony, thanks for the 60 mil. It's been spent well. No, actually, it's looking really good, and I particularly enjoyed the filming I saw of Twitter of him bunging Beep the Meep in the back of a taxi and driving around with him.
Brilliant.
I think that's going to be entertaining to watch.
But
I don't know whether this guy they've got who's dressed as him, because they've got an actor dressed as him, I don't know whether they're going to CGI him out and actually put a little, like, Beep the Meep. Because he was, like, 6'2". He was taller than David Tennant.
He was quite tall.
Tiny in the comic.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on there.
So for context, if you don't know what we're talking about, we're going to too ahead of ourselves. So there's been filming pictures recently from, what's the road called?
Axminster Road, I think.
Axminster Road in Wales, is it?
In Cardiff, I think.
In Cardiff, specifically. And on set is a character that we've not seen yet in live-action Doctor Who, only ever seen in comic books and maybe a novel or two. I think mainly comic books.
Yeah.
Called Beep the Meep. I had no idea who this was. Mark texted me and said, "Have you seen Beep the Meep?" And I said, "I don't know what the hell you're talking about."
I thought just words.
Yeah, it's like, have you misspelled something? So yeah, Beep the Meep is this. But from what I've done a little bit of research, and he's from this race of creatures called the Meeps, I'm guessing, and they're quite peaceful and they're quite cuddly and cute normally, but then something has happened to this one particular Meep and he's basically craving world domination, and he's called Beep the Meep. And I don't know if they're in the same comic, but the creatures you were referring to earlier are called the Wraith Warriors.
Wraith Warriors, yeah.
Yeah. So they're like the big, tall, buggy creatures, and the ones that were seen on set were these big on stilts, like big buggy creatures, and it seems there's going to be an all-out fight between the Wraith Warriors and units. Yeah, with lorries, flipping over, blowing up. I've seen the unit soldiers with like rounds in their guns, and there's like flashes coming from the end, from the barrels. It looks amazing. It looks like high budget stuff, and I'm really looking forward to seeing the finished product. It just
crazy. It just looks crazy, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And the money that they've spent on this unit battle is like the amount of extras they've had for unit is like insane, which is obviously due to this Bad Wolf Studios Sony partnership.
Yeah.
And with it being the 60th, I think they've chucked them a bit more money. And I think it's just going to look like a movie. It's going to look brilliant. Better than the green screen shambles that was Legend of the Sea Devils, but never mind.
No.
Anyway, moving on. Let's focus on the Tennant .2 era.
Tennant .2, RTD2, Donna Noble 2,
All
Wilf,
the twos.
Sylvia,
Exactly.
Rose. Oh,
The,
Rose
the
1.
good stuff.
Yeah. The juicy stuff. It seems like we're going to
Exactly.
get some good old fashioned Russell T writing of big battle, boom, boom, boom.
I
Like
love
I
it.
refer to like Sontaran Stratagem, Poison Sky, and like Rise of the Cybermen, Age of Steel,
Yeah.
even like Army of Ghost Doomsday, that kind of big all out battle. It's just going to
Bang,
be
bang, bang.
amazing. Millennium Effects are back on the team, and they're providing all these massive explosions and, like I say, flipping vans and things. Just looks incredible. And yeah, it's interesting how they've Russell's chosen a character that we've not seen yet on screen at any point, and he's basically been in the comics the whole time. Excuse me, the whole time. Yeah,
The funny thing is, the comic that he's adapting, the one before it, so like the comic, the issue before it, is a story all about the Doctor degenerating. So it's a Tom Baker comic, and it's all about him degenerating into the last, like the first 3 Doctors.
Cool.
So that's quite strange how I think it could link in. So you've got the degeneration story, and then you've also got the sort of Beat the Meep story that come after it.
That portion of filming, seems to be this big street battle. I've seen unit soldiers run into a house as well, as in like something's in there. One of the Wraith Warriors perhaps is in the house. And do we think it's the same street, or do you know if it's the same street as previously Donna's street?
Someone said, look at the windows on the top level, and they match up to like Donna's road.
Okay, cool.
So I think it is Donna's street.
Yeah.
And also we've had like an alien pod crash land, and Donna's daughter Rose and this young lad who we don't know yet, a new character, have found this alien crashed pod and realised something's escaped. So they was filming that the other night as well, which looked quite good, and that was around the back of the houses. So I think pretty sure it's going to be Donna's street.
Right.
Which would be
really
good.
cool.
Which would be very cool. It'd be nice to see that back.
Is it me, or did that pod look a little bit Cyberman?
It did a little bit, didn't it?
Like, it's probably got nothing to do with them, but like the pod has like the initial like hole, if you like, the door where the creature would get out, and then it had like a little bit next to it, and it kind of looked like, you know, the cyber eye sign where it's like the big circle and a little circle, kind of looked like that, but it's probably not going to be.
Let's see.
But I think it's good as well how he's doing it with this particular monsters from the comics, and not going for your typical Daleks, Cybermen, Master.
Something new.
Yeah.
Well, it was like Day of the Doctor. We'd not seen the Zygons for years, had we?
Yeah, that was a really good addition, I think,
quite
to the 50th.
Good.
Obviously, we had the Time War explored and stuff, which was a good addition, and obviously includes the Daleks, because you go, huh, of course. And I do think we will see. I do think we will see the Daleks.
Yeah.
At some point during the 60th.
I'd love to see Tennant get angry at the Daleks again. I used to love it when he just
once more
get mad at the Daleks. It was brilliant.
Yeah, shouting in their eye lights.
Skulking away in the dark.
That one.
Love it.
Yeah.
And then we got excited last night, didn't we? We got very excited. With
There's
message
another tease.
Oh, yeah. Russell, you naughty man. 2 hearts plus a diamond once again on Instagram. Keep an eye on your socials, all that blah blah. Me and Matt immediately thought, Matt Smith, because we'd heard a little rumbling that
that he might be back.
Reliable source
in the
Daily
Mirror
Mail or in the Mirror or whatever it was.
One of the bloody papers.
One of the chip papers.
So we heard rumblings that Matt Smith was potentially coming back, and then we saw this from Russell, so we were like, oh, that falls into place nicely. That must be the announcement we're waiting for. But curveball, we get Neil Patrick Harris is something to do with the 60th. He's filming scenes for the 60th.
Tomorrow.
Starting tomorrow.
Yeah.
So the Wednesday, what day are we on?
15th. Will it be Wednesday the 15th?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So very, very interesting. Thoughts, Mark, on this announcement?
So Russell said it was the greatest. It would be the greatest enemy or the greatest foe that the Doctor's ever faced. So immediately springs to mind his Master, but then we've just had this whole sort of master arc, so are we going to be a bit oversaturated with the master? And then this picture appears, and he's wearing like this apron, and he looks quite Victorian looking, a bit sort of like Geppetto style from Pinocchio.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, maybe the Celestial Toy Maker or something of that caliber. I'm not sure.
Caliber?
Not sure. Maybe.
Yeah.
What are you thinking?
Yeah, well, when it was announced, I was a little bit disappointed. I'm not gonna lie, because I like put all my eggs in one basket, and I thought Matt Smith definitely, but alas, it's not. And we can still hold out hope that Matt's gonna be involved in some way. I cry every time. Capaldi,
Matthew, come back to me.
Matt Smith, please. One of them.
Just anyone.
Yeah, just anyone.
Tennant's nice.
Bring someone back.
I'd love to see Matt Smith again. I really would.
I think with Tennant, he's come back for so much recently. It's kind of like, oh, him again.
Here we go.
You know what I mean?
Get him in here. And then they think that we're not going to notice because he's wearing a blue coat. It's like, oh, that's
Shove him in.
That's not David Tennant. That's this other guy.
He's done obviously loads of Big Finish recently. He's done all the Out of Times with previous Doctors and stuff. Yeah. He's done the game, I forgot what it's called, Edge of Reality, I think. Yeah, with Jodie Whittaker.
Yeah.
He did the Time of Victorious stuff, which I didn't really get on board with, but he did that. He did content for that, and it's like he's done a little bit ever since the 50th. He's done little bits here and there over the past 10 years, and then now they've announced him coming back. It's like it's not got the same effect that it did in the 50th, when it was like he's not done anything since to do Doctor Who, and he's just come back. It was like, oh my god, here we go. So I think that will be the same reaction if Matt Smith or Peter Capaldi get announced, because they've not really done anything to do with Doctor Who since, apart from conventions and stuff.
I get why that he's brought him back though, because I think Russell T Davies wanted to finish the Donna arc off, which is fair enough. I think he wanted a bit of a tie-up or maybe a continuation, which is fair enough, but, let somebody else have a chance as well.
Yeah,
Get Capaldi or Smith in, or,
Come on.
Anyone.
Fingers crossed. But sorry, back to the Neil Patrick Harris announcement. I think he's a great actor. It's a Sin. He was amazing in that. He was only in first episode, I think, or second. First and second. Yeah. But he was brilliant in that. And obviously he's done loads of stuff, like How I Met Your Mother and... other stuff.
Oh my gosh, there's
so much.
Count Olaf in
Count Olaf,
Fortunate Events, doesn't he? And
so much stuff. So very much looking forward to seeing what he brings to Doctor Who.
And they've started dressing the set, haven't they? Today
they have indeed.
Using one of the oldest streets in Bristol, and they've turned it into kind of like a Victorian-y,
looks 1800s
looking like street, and the toy shop. Mr. Emporium toy shop.
Mr. Emporium.
Wow.
And there's a little sign that I just did a little scroll before we started recording. And on Twitter, someone's put more photos on of the sets. Yeah. And they've got the black cab that's been in so many of the shots since Camden. So it's Sean's cab, we think. They've also got like a battered Mini there, like a blown up kind of battered Mini that they've fenced off. And then there's also a big unit truck there as well. And these are all ready to start filming in a couple of days. And they've got this Mr. Emporium's toy shop.
Mr. Emporium's Wonder Engoria.
He's in it. He's in the 60th. Who else is in the 60th?
Wonder Emporium. What a film.
I've never seen it, to be honest.
Not? Oh, it's great film. Great.
Is
sad.
It?
Sad. I was
sad.
crying at the end.
Oh, no.
Dustin Hoffman, what a man. Anyway, so we've got Mr. Magori and Wonder Emporium on the case.
On the case.
And it says toys, tricks and games, doesn't it, on the window? And you're thinking,
And you're thinking,
Who else did tricks and played games?
There's this photo that I found. Let me just get it up, because I just want to repeat what it says. So it looks like there's a bit of tarpaulin over like an outside bit. And there's this sign. It says Toy Maker of the Year. And it's like a little, I'll just show you quick. It's a little round sign like that, though.
All right.
I can't make out what it says around the edge. Maybe we'll try and decipher that. But
Toy Maker of the Year.
All signs are pointing to Neil Patrick Harris playing a new incarnation of the Celestial Toy Maker,
which I think could be very cool. And that's probably
very cool.
The cause for reality changing and
because he's known to do that.
Yeah, and regeneration, slipping back and stuff. So
Yeah, and warp regeneration. So it would make complete sense.
Ooh.
And also, I believe if we go back to Camden, so we're talking nearly a month ago now, I think, there were grabber machines put in the background of sets of Camden, like near Cyberdog, so where they were filming. So it's like, are they hinting at that? And there were loads of
like a Mr. Emporium grabber machine or something. Yeah.
So it might be like, you know how he always does with like
dropping bits in all
dropping
the way.
seeds, like Atmos before it was a thing, and Torchwood, Bad Wolf, all of that. So yeah, I think that's something to look out for. And there's been these circus posters everywhere as well. That's obviously got something to do with it.
And there was one for Rosa's shop, weren't they? You know, that Hendrix department store.
Oh, yeah,
and
it
was saying, like, Hendrix. The dates was Christmas, though, wasn't it? It was saying, like, December or something. Yeah, I saw a close-up on Twitter. And it was Rosa's old department store, and it was, like, had the dates on. It was, like, Christmas, November, December, so...
Awesome.
Who knows? Yes.
Come on. Yeah, but that would be very cool. So we'll see how that unfolds. Obviously, all of this... Beat the Meep and Wraith Warriors, Celestial Toymaker, it's all hearsay at the moment. There's no confirmation.
Nothing's been confirmed that it's Beat the Meep, but it looks like him. And these Wraith Warrior things, it kind of looks like them. There's only one picture I can find from the comics, and it kind of looks like him. But then always with the T Davies era, you're going to get an update of an old thing, so it's never going to look the same,
exactly the same,
So who knows? But yeah, it's all looking very exciting. Very exciting.
Good. Yeah.
Matthew.
Yes.
Will you have a meander with me down memory lane? Will we take a shortcut through Sentimental Alley and maybe a meander into the nostalgia trip? What's it time for, Matthew?
Let's open the door to Tea Time TV. Right.
Matthew, what is your Tea Time TV this week?
It's all gone wrong.
He's not even thought about it. He doesn't even know what's Tea Time TV. He's had 4 sips and he ain't got a clue.
What are we on? What's going on?
Dear.
I want to talk. No, I know exactly what I want to talk about because I've been watching episodes of it recently and it's absolutely hilarious. I want to talk to you about Tots TV.
Tots TV. I used to love that thing.
So,
go on, man.
Yeah, I don't know if it was a tea time meander for me, but you know, never know. I remember watching it around my nan's house. We had a VHS. For those of you who know what that is, for those of you who don't, have a look, Google it. Yeah, and we used to watch this tape religiously. But yeah, Tots TV. So the premise is 3 puppets of kids that live in this magical cottage in the middle of nowhere, seemingly Birmingham, I think. But you don't know that. And they've got a pet donkey, and they've got this little dog meets hamster thing that keeps appearing everywhere. I don't even think they know they've got that, but it's there. And it used to have a great theme tune. I won't sing it for you because I won't deafen your eardrums. But very catchy, very good. And yeah, it was just about them learning about the world, I guess, and having a little adventures. And then Tiny had a little bag, which Tilly's French, for no apparent reason.
No reason just so that she could swear at them in French, I think, and the kids didn't realise when they messed up.
No one knew.
She'd go crazy, didn't she? She was like, and it was like, oh, sorry, Tilly.
Tom's voice. Sorry about that, Tilly.
Oh, sorry, Tilly. And they go, hello, Tiny. Hello, Tiny. Oh, dear.
Tiny, yeah. So Tiny had a bag, which Tilly called a sac magique, because it was a magic bag that gave them things that they were looking for on their adventures. I remember one episode where they wanted to feed a camel in a zoo, and they didn't have anything to feed it with, so she'd go up to it and go, sac magique, sac magique, and then pull out an apple. It's like, what? That was already a
random thing ever.
Wow. But it's brilliant. And recently we discovered an episode called I think it's called Staying Up,
Right.
And honestly, if you watch it as an adult, it's the funniest thing because you can just tell that they're improvising and they're just having a laugh with it.
Really?
It's brilliant.
I might have
Honestly,
to have a look after.
watch that. I will link it down below in the description. It is absolutely brilliant. It honestly, hours of fun with that. If you get a, go on.
I can remember one. I don't know if it happened like this, but in my head it did. And I remember there was one where there's like, I think one of them's been in the bath, and he stood at the top of the stairs.
Yeah.
And he's like, look, Tom, towel. And then he just chucks the towel and it lands on Tom's head and he's like, Tano, that's disgusting or something. And I was in hysterics as a kid. But then you have to think, there's like this puppet just like wearing nothing at the top of the stairs because he's gone, here, have me towel.
And it's a kid's show.
It's random. I don't know.
Wow.
Funny. Oh,
Yeah,
great.
but,
What a great show.
Brilliant show. I'm sure you'll chuck some images up of various things. And
I can remember when they went to Drayton Manor and they went on the Ferris wheel. I went to the zoo.
Drayton Manor.
I remember that. That was a good episode.
They did one where they went to America called American Adventure, and they stayed in a makeshift version of their cottage. They put a tent up, and it was like their cottage, but a tent version. Yeah, it was so weird. They were staying like the fucking Utah desert or something. Where are we?
What a great shit. They don't make it like that anymore, do they?
They do not.
It was the same company that did Rosie and Jim.
Yeah, Ragdoll Productions, I think they're called. But yeah, Rosie and Jim and Tots TV. Yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
Both brilliant. But yeah, there you go. There's my tea time TV for you. Tots TV. It almost fits in with our title that we've made up for this section. But there you go. That's the only thing I could think of. But it's brilliant.
It is good.
There's one where they're on about jellies and on about naughty jellies. Like, stop that naughty jelly wobbling. It's like, just got fucking someone obviously under the table doing this.
Now,
like,
you naughty jelly.
Legit.
Oh, brilliant.
And then they go outside and then Tom's there like, I can wobble, watch me. And then he's like, blah, 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 blah.
Did Tom always try and show off for Tilly? He's like, Tilly, watch me. Watch me, Tilly. He was after a bit of Tilly, weren't he, old Tom?
Tom was always like the trousers up to his waist kind of guy.
Simon
like,
Cowell.
He was always the play by the rules kind of guy. Tiny's just reckless. He does what he wants.
And then he used to get really sad about it when he got told off. He'd like skateboard down the stairs and be like, Tiny, you can't do that. It's unsafe. And he'd be like on the stairs like, why does everybody shout at me?
Sorry about that.
And Tilly's just French.
And you can't understand. There's the odd word. But other than
the odd word, you go, oh yeah, I learned that in school. That means cat.
Brilliant.
There's in this same episode, Staying Up, there's a bit where it's Tiny's staying up and he's making noise downstairs, so they keep coming out and seeing what he's doing. Tilly goes out at one point, she's furious, and she literally just rants in French for about 50 seconds. And there's one point where Tiny's just like, he's looking at her, and he looks at the camera like, what the fuck is he saying? It's so funny, honestly. Gotta watch it.
I love it.
But yeah, there you go. Tots TV, what a classic. That's my tea time TV for you. Mark Page, what is your tea time TV?
My tea time TV
for this week.
Fond memories of watching this program. It's a little program called Stupid. I used to love this program. Do you remember Stupid?
Oh, I do remember Stupid.
So pretty much what this program was about was there was like a castle in the sky. And there was a king called King Stupid, and he had a weird like gremlin servant. I can't remember what his name was, Goober or something, Goober or Gober, I don't know.
Yeah, something like that.
It was live action, and what he was trying to do is he was trying to inflict like misery on all these people by making them be stupid. So he would have like this machine where he'd put a lever, and all these pictures of these people would spin around, and then it would stop on one, and then it would zoom into their like face, and then like a sketch would happen based on this person. And I always remember there's a really harsh one where that guy's gran used to pretend she died every week. Like, literally did. There was one where she'd like, they were at the supermarket, and he's like at the till, and he's with his nan, and he's scanning all the stuff. He's like, beans, bread, whatever. Then his nan just comes down the conveyor belt like dead, and then he's like, Gran? He's like, my gran? my lovely Gran, like, crying, and then she sits up and she's like, your face, Graham. like just pretending to die.
What?
Like, traumatised this lad. He's like thinking his
Oh my
dad's
God.
dead every week. Terrible.
Jesus.
Oh God, I remember that one. And then there's
funny.
another one where this guy just used to go around going, devil finger.
Yeah,
and, like,
I was gonna say.
like, pointing, like, poking people. I don't know. And then that become like a national thing, didn't it? Everyone just used to go and go devil finger
Round the
and
playground.
like, poke people.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
And then you had Bendy Wendy. That was a
she'd
variation.
bend your finger back. And then I think you had cow bite.
Cowbite. Moo. It's like my
terrible.
hand's been possessed by a million devil cow or something.
Terrible.
Million-year-old devil cow.
Oh.
Cowbite.
And then at the end, the credits would go. The king would be sitting there and be like, he's stupid. He's really stupid. Him. Oh, don't even talk to me about him. Hate him. He's like, it's just so, like, random. Just the sketches they used to do. You just wouldn't get away with now. Like, your nan pretended to die. It's like every week. She was like, your face, Graham. And he'd, like, go round to her house for his tea and she'd be there in the armchair like this. He'd be like, Gran. And then he'd start crying, and then she'd go. Just look at it as that harsh woman. Yeah, they were some more memorable ones. I can't really think of any others, but I used to love it. There was that and Gran. There was the devil finger. They're like the main ones I can remember. There was others, but I just cannot remember for the life of me what they were.
There must be so many, but yeah, I think Devil Finger's the most memorable. From that.
And then they did one after that. That was trying to be like stupid. It was called Sorry I've Got No Head. And that was a bit like that. And then there was like whenever someone's car broke down or something, this guy would turn like, oh, maybe my bees can help. And then he just like released this like thing of bees. Weird. But that kind of riffed off like stupid.
Yeah.
But it was a different show, but it was the same format. So you'd see these different people and then it would be like a sketch, and that was quite funny.
The one where the mum in Sorry I've Got No Head, the one where the mum was like the inventor, like, come on, Timothy, you're going to get to school today. How are you going to get to school? A new rocket brute. And then you like go fucking flying up through the ceiling and just like be a firework or something.
Oh, I love it. It's so stupid.
There were quite a few of them like sketchy shows, weren't there? Like there was another one, Gina's Laughing Gear. Do you remember that one?
I remember that one.
And that more took the piss out of like TV shows, because I remember they did Doctor Who.
And it was Tim Westwood. Pimp My TARDIS.
Yeah.
And he was,
TARDIS.
Yeah. And then it was a guy pretending to be Tennant that sounded nothing
like,
like him. I was like, oh, yeah, where am I? Like,
oh, come on, Rose.
Literally. And then he just put a load of stickers on the side of the TARDIS that was like Time Lord and like, oh, I don't know. Funny.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there was loads of them spoof shows, but Stupid was the original.
Stupid
and I just thought it was so funny. Some of the stuff that they used to do and get away with it was great.
Brilliant.
That's my Tea Time TV this week. Bit of Stupid and a bit of Tots TV.
Bit of that. Here we go.
Bit of that.
Love it.
Lovely jubbly. Right.
So we'll start with Obi Wan. So we're at how many episodes? With 3 episodes in?
I think it's 4, isn't it?
Oh, we're 4 episodes in.
Yeah, I think I've watched episode 4, last week's.
We are 4 episodes in because they released 2 at the same time, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so 4 episodes in. What we thinking?
I'm hooked.
Initial
I really
thoughts.
am. I think it's really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
I like the story. Not to give too much away, but I like the story. The thing that makes Obi-Wan come out of retirement.
Yeah.
I like that. I like how there's some sort of adventure going on as well. It's not just like straight, let's do this, and then we've got to take you back here. Like something, things are happening throughout that are causing the direction to go off kilter, and there's some pretty tense moments. Like at that security bay. You know, when they pull into, and there's the stormtroopers, I was like, they're done for. I was like, that's it. They're gone now. That's it. Episode 4, end.
Done. Finished.
Done. Yeah, but there's some tense moments. Really good stuff. The characters, young Leia does an amazing job.
Mm-hmm.
Very good job.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's some good characters. Nice to see Ewan McGregor back. Yeah, and you can tell that you can tell because the way the character is in this one, it is a slightly different Obi-Wan. He is turning into that Ben Kenobi, isn't he? Because you can see he's quite miserable and downtrodden.
Yeah.
And I quite like that. I think it works well for what he has to do in the series. Yeah, very good. What are your thoughts? What are you thinking?
Yeah, I'm loving it. Like I grew up with the prequels. They were my era of Star Wars, and I'm sure yours too. So I watched them. I remember watching 3 at the cinemas and just being like captivated by it. And like I couldn't get over that Anakin had gone from this like young boy to then this like Jedi Knight, and then turns into Darth Vader eventually. Like it was like mind blowing to me. Excuse me. So to see this series and see both Hayden Christensen and Ewan McGregor back in these roles 20 years on is insane. It's really, really cool to see. But loving the story. Again, I agree with you. Like the story to like get him out of retirement like makes a whole ton of sense from like the end of number 3 and where we kind of left that character before you see him again in number 4 or in Rebels, depending on what you've watched, what you haven't. Young Leia is incredible. She's really good, really, really good. And I think Carrie Fisher would have been a massive fan of hers. She's doing an amazing job. I think Moses Ingram as Reva, I always forget her name, as like the villain of the series is doing a really good job as well. And I'm going to swear, fuck you to the people who are being racist towards her. And
really?
Yeah, there's been a whole ton of hate.
I haven't seen this, mate. I haven't seen
online.
This.
Just
well,
awful.
To be fair, mate, after episode 1, I saw a post and people were like, oh, the acting is stale. You can tell they're just doing it for the money, this, that, and the other. I was like, you've watched 1 episode. How can you say that the acting's, like, poor? Now it's in the swing of it. I think they're all doing an incredible job. Like, her included, so there's no need to be hateful towards anyone. Star Wars is meant to be all these different communities that like are together existing in this universe, which is essentially like the actors that they brought in and come together.
It's just because like obviously the character is the villain, so you're meant to not like this character, of course, and that's fine. The character, fine.
Yeah.
But like when you're attacking the actor playing this character because of their skin color, or like you see that as a weakness, or you see it as lower than you, that's when you're like, come on.
No,
like,
thank you.
Really?
Don't watch the bloody series if you're going to do that. Let the people who want to watch it enjoy it and piss off somewhere else.
Yeah. But both Hayden Christensen and Ewan McGregor have come out and just basically said they're not Star Wars fans at all if you're doing that, because it's absolutely not what it's about. And God. Anyway, so yeah, massive FU to them.
But yes,
but the series is amazing. A real good like treat for all them prequel fans who've like waited for this long and seen these characters back in play. Like when Hayden Christensen's in the suit, I don't know about you, but I can just see it. I can just see him in there, even though obviously he's got the full mask and everything on. But like his movements and how he walks and everything, like at the end of episode 4 when he comes in and just grabs Reva and he's like, you failed me or whatever. And he just like marches in and he just grabs, it's brilliant.
It's very good.
Doing an amazing job. So yeah, I can't wait to see how it's all going to wrap up in these final 2 episodes. It's going to be really awesome to see. They really made us wait for him to ignite his lightsaber for the first time again, didn't they? In episode 3. And that was a great fight scene.
It was great.
You could see how powerful Darth Vader was compared to this like weak man.
Yeah. When he does the fire.
Yeah.
Oh, I was like, okay.
He's got him up there and he lights the fire and then he drags him into it.
In the fire.
Yeah. Oh, horrific. And it's
one thing I thought, and this is down to the editing. This is because I don't know if I was watching it clear enough or whatever, but what it come across to me was when it was like with the editing was, you know, when like he's been put in the fire and then you kind of see him dragged out and they kind of sort of hid his body away so you couldn't see like the full extent of the injuries. When he was in that chamber and they sliced it in with the footage of when he was battling Anakin the first time he saw the arm chopped off, I thought that Obi-Wan's arm had been chopped off, and I was like, I don't remember that in the older film. I was like, when has he had like one weird arm? So then I had to Google it, and I was like, has Obi-Wan got a like android arm? And then like obviously nothing come up because he hasn't. Then I went back and watched it again, and then I realised it was a way that they'd edited it and pieced it together. He was like having a flashback of the first battle.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it looked like when he was in that chamber that it was look as if he'd had his arm. I was like, what? Yeah.
What?
So I was just a
When?
bit like, oh, but that was like due to the editing, I think. But yeah,
Right.
and then I went and watched it back. I could see clearly, but it was one. Yeah, that's one thing they're doing. There's like they're quite choppy editing in it, isn't there? I think.
Yeah.
Which is good. It adds to the drama, but sometimes I think
Yeah.
it can come across a little bit like what's
Yeah.
that? What's going on there? You know. But it's very
That's
good.
true.
Very good.
I had one minor gripe about episode 3,
Yeah.
and it was that bit we're talking about with the fire. So he's dragging him in the fire, and then that rebel like comes and saves him, that robot, don't they?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
she shoots the fire again, so it like splits the stormtroopers and Darth Vader and Obi Wan. And I was like, right, for one, if you're dragging someone through fire, it's not just going to be like 3 burns on your shoulder.
Exactly.
It's going to be like a bit of your hair, a bit of your face, a bit of your chest, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. But more is going to set on fire than just your shoulder. Do you know what I mean? That was my first like. And then when the fire reignites and it like separates Darth Vader and stormtroopers from Obi-Wan and the rebel and the robot, I was like, Darth Vader can still just use the Force.
Yeah, I thought that as well.
In the fire.
He could just do what he needed to do and get it done with, but he didn't.
So
I was
easily.
a bit like, oh, okay.
Yeah, but
because he's meant to be this ruthless killer.
Yeah, well, he's
then
just walked down the street and like murdered everyone, and then But people were saying, I think my flatmate included, was saying like that might be a moment of like weakness for him. Like it's still Anakin trying to reason and be like, well, my flatmate was saying that it's like almost like he's got his prey, and now he's like playing with it because he knows he's stronger than it. So it's like like a tiger when it's after a weak deer, and it's like just playing with it because it knows it's like overpowering it, so it doesn't need to try really. So he said like it's probably something to do with that, which makes sense, I guess. But yeah, very much looking forward to episode 5 and episode 6. Episode 5 released tomorrow.
Yes, it
actually.
is.
I've just thought about it, Wednesday. So yeah, very excited.
Very good.
Can't wait to see.
While we're on the topic of Disney Plus, before we move on to Stranger Things, as of Friday, we have Spider-Man, Spider-Man 2, The Amazing Spider-Man, The Amazing Spider-Man 2, and Spider-Man Homecoming arriving on Disney Plus.
Hurrah!
What
Finally,
a success for the Spider-Man
Hooray!
fans.
Yes, thank goodness for that.
I know what I'm doing at the weekend.
Binging those Spider-Man films.
Spider-Man 2. Oh,
Spider-Man 2.
It's a perfect film. I don't care what anybody says. It's a perfect film. Don't come at me. That's my opinion.
Don't come for him.
You have yours. But I think, great. Also, while we're on Disney Plus, Miss Marvel started last week.
Kamala Khan.
Yeah,
she is.
I really liked the style of it, with the graffiti and the signs and the writing changing in the background quite subtly. Yeah. I thought it was really clever. And the opening sequence with the comic sort of, it's brilliant.
Cartoons and stuff.
I thought it was very, very clever, very well done.
It kind of reminded me of like Edgar Wright style, like Baby Driver, where it's like things in the background sort of match up to what they're saying on screen, but like more prominent because it's like it's meant to be like her fantasy, isn't it? Like her fantasy world of this like comic books and superheroes. But yeah, great start, I think, to what is going to be a really fun series. And it seems very fresh and very new, and just like, I don't know, there's something about it because there's a thing for me recently where I've been going through a bit of Marvel fatigue, because it's like the same stuff plastered with different things. You know what I mean? But this seemed, I don't know, there's something about it that just seems very like new. There's new energy there. There's like a fresh start, and it's like she's very wide-eyed and like, oh my God, I love superheroes and stuff. So it's like I think it's a good fresh thing for the MCU to have.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And the actress whose name escapes me, she's playing
well.
Kamala Khan brilliantly.
Really good.
Obviously the first Muslim superhero as well.
Very good.
On our screens, which is great.
Awesome, mate.
Yeah, it's so nice to see. I don't know, there's something about her and how she portrays it. It's like a nice watch to just see her be so excited by this world. Because we've not really had that. It's all been like serious and like, like jokey here and there, but like no one's sat back and admired the world as it is. Obviously, the intro, she's talking about like the blip and the battle of the Avengers and how they defeated Thanos and stuff, and she does it in her own way, and it's quite funny.
She's got like a YouTube channel, hasn't she, where she like uploads little like she makes like cartoon things out of like
Yeah.
like sticks them in a book, but like makes it look like they're moving and stuff, doesn't she? And it's very cool, very cool.
Very, very cool. Yeah, just a very cool concept so far. And this band that her nanny gives her,
Oh yeah,
that gives her powers, it's very intriguing.
Mysterious.
Because obviously in the comics and in the recent game, the Avengers game, she has her typical, usual stretchy powers.
Yeah.
So she's kind of like Mr. Fantastic from Fantastic Four. She's got like similar powers to him. But with this, it seems like she's got these, I don't know how to describe it, almost like Green Lantern-y powers, I guess.
Yeah, all sorts
where she can
of
like
things.
think up something and she'll do it. Like she was shooting out them like diamond cloud things to start with, wasn't she? And then when she knocked the Ant-Man, the Giant Man statue, and the head came rolling down, she like reached out a hand and grabbed that girl as she was falling from the big Mjolnir.
That was very cool. That was very cool.
That was a good sequence. One thing that like me and my flatmate pointed out, so that Giant Man head, it like came crashing down into that pool of water, which would like break its fall.
Yeah.
But it didn't
Carried
stop
on
there.
rolling.
It carried on rolling for a good like 10 minutes. And I was like, where's it getting this momentum from?
Maybe
It's
it
just
should have
going
ended
like,
with the pool of water.
Yeah, maybe a little bit after, but like it just kept
Yeah.
going and going. I was like, what is in that head? Little hamster, like, whee!
Oh dear.
Yeah, but no, a great start to the series. I'm intrigued. And did you see the after credits scene?
I don't know. Remind me. I might have.
So it was the guy who he was in Spider-Man No Way Home, and he was the interrogator for Peter Parker when he'd been arrested because of the drone incident and killing Mysterio.
I don't think I saw that. I did try and skip forward to see if there was an end credits, but I don't know if I...
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, same guy, and I think they get a report in about what happened at the Avengers Con thing.
Right, okay.
And he's like, oh yeah, that's probably worth a look or something, because obviously he knows that Nick Fury is off world.
Yeah.
So it suggests that he's a Skrull. And then obviously Miss Marvel, Captain Marvel, they're all very much involved with the Skrulls. So I'm like, is he a Skrull? That'd be a good explanation. And obviously we've got Secret Invasion coming up.
Yes.
Quite soon on Disney Plus. So that would make sense for that.
It's worth your £7 a month in it, this Disney Plus.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Expanding these universes like really nicely.
It's rivaling Netflix in a big way.
Yeah. Because they've got all the access to all these big names like Marvel, Star Wars.
Yeah.
Obviously you got your Pixar, your normal Disney stuff.
Yeah.
But then even now they've got like the Simpsons on there and stuff. You know, they've got like seasons worth of shows from Star now. You know.
Yeah. Well, Doctor Strange is coming on next Wednesday, the new one.
New Doctor Strange.
So,
yeah.
You know,
amazing.
It's like, that's probably 10, 12 quid to watch in the cinema to go once. £87 if it's Odeon. But you know, so Odeon, if you'd like to sponsor us, please do get in touch. Yeah, so and that's like £7 a month, and you've just got Doctor Strange, the new one, there in front of you. It'd be 10 quid on the DVD.
Yeah,
you know what I
watch
mean?
as many times as you want.
Like,
yeah,
worth it.
Definitely.
Very cool.
And now with all the additions of the Spider-Man films, I'm sure it won't be long before.
Gonna leave.
Yeah, it won't be long before Far From Home and No Way Home are on there.
Yeah, and Spider-Man 3, hopefully. I'm wondering if there's some sort of contractual thing with the villains or something. I'm not quite sure. Yeah, I just don't know. So maybe, but hopefully we'll sort that out and they'll be on soon.
Yeah, maybe it's the Venom thing for 3.
Maybe, yeah.
I don't know, because obviously that's the thing with its own at the minute.
But yes, very exciting stuff.
Yeah, indeed.
Moving on to Netflix.
We are moving on to Netflix now.
Did you finish Stranger Things?
Stranger Things Volume 1 is done. What a...
My good God.
I think this is my favourite season, on a par with Season 1. Season 1 was so perfect, but this season has really
my favourite.
Pulled it out the bag and knocked it out of the park.
Series grows up with the kids, and it gets like more adult each time, I think.
Yeah.
And this one has been like, wow.
Amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
So good.
They had £1 million budget per episode.
Really?
Yeah.
Sounds like the new series of Doctor Who.
Hooray! Hurrah!
It actually would be though, wouldn't it? Say they give them 60 mil for a series. It's going to be like £1 million Well, even more than that if it's a 13-episode series.
A damn good budget.
Oh my gosh.
Hooray! Doctor Who is back. Anyway, Stranger Things. We're gonna spoil it, so
Yeah,
cover your ears if you're not watched it yet, but get on it because it's good. What do we think of the triple reveal right at the end? I know it was a long explanation, but it was a good one.
It was.
Of Jamie Campbell-Bower's character being not just Victor Creel's son, but number one.
Yeah.
And Vecna. He's all
in
of
the
them.
Same 10 minutes.
Yeah, what a reveal. And that ended part 1 of season 4 perfectly. It was great. Oh my god. Because I kind of guessed that he was going to be one. Because there was a scene where he was talking to 11 about it, and he was like, "Oh yeah, one ran away."
Yes,
and,
I've seen that. Yeah.
And I was like, "Okay, if you've run away, or one's run away, where is one?
Yeah.
You're a new male character being introduced."
Exactly.
So I was like, But I never would have guessed he was Victor Creel's son or Vecna.
Yeah.
They were complete surprises to me.
Very good, though. Good way to keep it exciting for volume 2 and fresh. Very good. I thought, I thought something was happening because the whole of the bit where he's like, oh, go on, 11, you can escape. Well, it's like, why just 11? Why not the rest of the kids? He probably knew he could get something out of 11 that he couldn't the others. And he sort of knew how nice she was. So maybe he was expecting her to be turning around and like, well, if I'm going, you can go as well.
Yeah.
So I think that's why he lured her. So I thought from that point on, I was like, he's planning
something dodgy.
Something. And then obviously when it happened and then all of a sudden he flicked and turned a bit evil, I was like, this is going to be a bit of a wild ride. And then when the number 1 reveal come in, I was like, oh, well, he's going to be Vecna. I was like,
Yeah. Really cool. And I loved how right at the start of this series, you saw that montage of all the kids and the scientists be killed.
Yeah.
And it looked like 11 had done it.
And it was 11, because he come in and went, what have you done?
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
But then, obviously, with the reveal, you come to realise it was one all along. Yeah. And then she just banished him to the Upside Down. And then Brenna had obviously come in straight after that and been like, the fuck? But yeah, incredible. Really, really good storytelling. Yeah. And what do you think of the new characters? So we've got Eddie Munson, the D&D
brilliant. I think
leader
he's such a good,
the Hellfire Club.
Such a good addition.
Great addition. Yeah. He's a really cool guy. And he's
it's
British as well.
Yeah, it's a shame he's kind of ruined his arc though, because he has already confirmed he's in season 5. So it's like, well, we know he survives.
Oh, has he?
Then.
I didn't know that.
He said a couple weeks back that he's in season 5. So it's kind of
okay.
So we know that he's probably gonna live on through. Yeah, but he's very good. I'm glad. I'm quite glad that he's there. But cards on the table. I thought our mate Steve was a goner when them bats were. I was like, he's done. I was like, he's gone, mate. But he still could be because he's still bleeding out, isn't he? Really?
He is. Yeah.
So our mate Steve could be
that end of part. What was it? Part 6? Part 7? End of part 6, because part 7 was the final episode. Yeah, that was a good cliffhanger, and I was like, "Oh dear Lord!" It not look good for him. Yeah, and what Robin was saying about the rabies, where
exactly. I was
like, "There's got to be something in their fangs or whatever. There's got to be some upside downy crap in him now."
You saw what happened to number 1 when he was getting hit with things in there. He slowly turned into
burnt face McGee. Yeah. But yeah, what do you think of Argyle, the Californian stoner?
Surfer Boy Pizza Man.
Surfer Boy Pizza Man.
He's okay. He's all right. And we've not seen him do a lot really.
No.
He's just sort of there for the comedic relief at times. That's when it gets a bit dark, he's like, "Oh whoa, what dude?" It's just, he's good. I think he's quite a cool guy, good actor, obviously. But I just think he's there for the comedic relief.
Yeah.
I love how much of a badass Murray is this season.
Do you think so? Because
I
I think
think
they've
so.
nerfed him a bit.
Do you reckon?
Because it's just because like
I
season
know
2
he's
and
quite
3.
funny, but I think he's
Yeah.
like when he was taking out them guards in the prison.
Yeah.
I was like, that's pretty epic. I was like, he's quite good to do that.
Yeah, that bit was good. It was for me. It was like I was thinking about season 2 and 3, especially 3. Yeah, when Hopper and Joyce bring round Alexei from the previous series, they bring him round to Murray's bunker. The first thing he does is like greet him with a shotgun because he's like, "This guy's a Russian soldier and he shouldn't be on our soil, a Soviet Union soldier, and all this." So it's like in season 3, he was so like on it and like aware of everything, and he was like there. But then like this season, when they're on the plane and like Joyce is the one kicking the crate over to try and get the glass to try and cut him free, and he's there like, "Oh, I've been in karate lessons, but I've only done it on kids and 12 years old," and it's like, dude, come on, last season you were there like, I know what's going on. I know what the Russians are doing. I'm ready. And it's like, oh, I've done karate. It's like, I get the comedy. I get the comedic effect it's trying to have. Yeah. But I just felt like, come on, you're better than this. You would just go like, right, we'll get that. I'll take him out. Let's go.
I do get you.
Yeah, I don't know. That was my only gripe with his character this season. But like, yeah, when they got to the prison, he'd like come into his own and he was like putting the gun to him and he was, trying to find Hopper and stuff. That was great.
It's the same thing though with that other group, the Argyle and like the Will
the California
group. They've just become a load of saps. It's like, what are they doing? They're just going around from door to door asking questions to people. It's like, what are they actually doing?
Yeah.
That last series, Jonathan was like
in the heart of it
all the time.
Like, yeah.
And now he's just sat in someone's kitchen being like, do you know any information about
I'm a stoner.
Where's Elle? Where's, it's like, I don't know. I think they've just dulled that team down, which is fair enough because that team are doing a really good job carrying it at the minute. With the whole, like they've gone into the upside down again, and like Dustin's doing really well this season, I think. I love the scene where they go to Susie's house, and you're just like, what is going on?
What was going on? Like
everything.
What is happening?
Like all the siblings just beating the crap out of each other and making like short films. It's like, what is going on?
What? Yeah, I thought, is it a crash? Is it a
I think it's all her brothers and sisters.
Orphanage?
Yeah,
but it's just mad. One big family.
And then she's on the roof fixing the satellite dish.
Yeah,
like, what is going on? But yeah, no, I thought that they're doing a really good job. The Dustin sort of team and that.
Dustin,
sort of
Max,
stuff.
Lucas.
They're doing a good job. And that scene with Max escaping the upside down.
The iconic scene. The now iconic
scene. Run out of hill.
Bit of Kate Bush. Can't beat it.
Yeah, that was really good. Yeah.
A really good scene.
I think that was probably the best thing that the Jonathan group have done is just go to Susie's house.
That's the only thing they've done.
The best thing they've achieved.
Yeah.
They've not done it else.
The only other scene of theirs that I really liked that stood out to me was the like follow shot scene where the policeman's there and all the army are coming in.
That was amazing, actually. That was pretty good.
That was like a great scene.
It was the policeman who was doing all the work. They was just stood there like, get down on the floor. Like they wasn't getting stuck in like they normally would do.
Yeah.
But, we'll see. We've got, what is it, about another 4 hours of footage to go? Because it's 2.5 hours one episode and then one's an hour and 20 or something.
Yeah.
So really, we've got about 4 hours
left,
I think.
Okay. Yeah. Do we think all the main characters are going to survive? Because, of course, Nancy in the cliffhanger was taken back to the pool where Barb died. And
I think something's going to happen that saves Nancy, but the repercussions will kill Steve or somebody like that. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
That's what and then season 5 is like the repercussions of Steve dying and then like what sort of happens now the dynamics change.
Shifted.
Yeah, I think maybe that's... Because there's been hints all along that there's ways to save Nancy. So, I don't know if you saw that when Robin was... I think I said this in the last one. When Robin's going through Nancy's drawers and stuff, she finds a cassette that's like Nancy's favourite song. And I think she's going to play like something to do with that to help her survive or... You know what I mean? I don't know. But there's been little hints that like there's ways to save Nancy or... But then Steve at the minute, he's already half dead. So it makes you wonder.
Steve's looking like the most likely, isn't he? to cop it
Is
at
he
this
going to
stage.
turn into some sort of creature and have a
Upside
one-to-one
down
with
knee.
old number one?
Maybe, yeah.
You know, I don't
Um,
know.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
looking the most likely to cop it at this stage. Because I definitely think that we've not seen the last of this wound.
I don't
and it's
think
not
so.
just
And
going to be like,
he's already
it's all
bleeding
fine.
out. He's still bleeding
Yeah,
out. So
yeah.
it's like, who knows? But yeah, I think it's very good. They're doing a brilliant job. I just wonder where season 5's going to go, because to me it feels like they're tying up a lot of loose ends
in this
already.
season, yeah.
Yeah, so I just don't know.
Well, I've heard it's going to be a time jump. I've heard there's going to be a massive time
really?
jump.
It's going to be like
well,
when
not
they're
massive.
adults, they're going to do an it
Well,
job.
I guess, yeah, kind of like its style, but not to the point where they're adults. It's just to sort of keep up with the kids and their age, because obviously in this
Right.
season they're playing like middle schoolers, aren't they? But in reality, they're like 21,
20
22
now, yeah.
So I think they're going to do a time jump to like when they're in college, maybe.
Right.
And it's like a few years after the events of this season. So it's 1986 now. So maybe they jump to 1990. Sorry,
Maybe.
1970.
Have they started filming it yet then? Have they done it all as one go? Or
Not
no?
yet, I don't believe. No, I think maybe either later this year or early next year.
Cool.
But yeah, I heard there's definitely going to be a time jump. So yeah, maybe we'll
Very
fast forward
good.
to the 90s. Maybe we'll get to see him in the 90s.
That'd be very cool.
But
Brilliant.
yeah,
I'm
very
excited to
excited
see-
for part
yeah.
2 on the 1st of July.
Come
It's been
on.
released.
Come on.
Come on.
Amazing.
Quite close now. Yeah, so that's that. Right. Is it time for our
It is
other
time
segment?
for our other segment. It is time for, do it with me, Matt,
Collector's Corner!
This week's theme, lovingly chosen by Matt, is things that you found at a charity shop, a car boot, or on Facebook Marketplace or something like that.
Yeah, it's
So,
quite a big spread
it
of
is.
category.
But you know
Big
what?
umbrella.
Something that you found cheap.
Yeah,
Let's
cheap
put it that
secondhand
way.
that's now part of your
Secondhand.
collection.
Yes.
That you go, wow, I never thought I'd have this, or
Which I like.
you know, ooh,
Yes.
yes. So, do you want to go first?
I'll go first because yours takes a while to
Sure.
maneuver. I'll go first. So one day, lockdown 1, I think it was. We've had many of them. Lockdown 1. I was browsing on Facebook, and all of a sudden I come across this post, and I was like, I looked at the post. I looked at the pictures attached with the post. I looked at the price and went, surely not. Read the information about it, seen that it had been tampered with slightly, but I wasn't really bothered because the price reflected this. Again, looked at the price, looked at the pictures, enquired, everything was all above board. I went and got myself a Capaldi sonic screwdriver for £7.
Oh,
£7, and it still works. The only thing is, this button has been tampered with so that it can do weird things. I'm not quite sure what. I don't know.
So usually it would spring back to the middle, right? So
yeah,
the stand doesn't stay
so
on.
it stays, so the light stays on, so you can do as you please with it. And
I mean, I quite like that.
It takes some doing. Like, you have to, flick it quite a lot to get the settings going on. Or as you can see, I'm having a bit of bother now, but it hasn't had any new batteries in it since I got it. So and then there's the green, and then there is a way of doing it to. There you go, do it to the blue. And then there is a way where it circles round, but I'm just trying to remember how to do that.
Yeah, it's normally like a couple of flicks up, isn't it?
It's a faff, but, it was £7. I ain't going to grumble, because now these things are going for £70 on eBay or something.
Very rare.
Ridiculous. Tell you one thing that was a kick in the gahoolies was Lockdown 1 again. I found a Capaldi TARDIS, £10.
The flight control one.
Yeah, sold it, £50. It's now worth about 100 quid. I was like, oh. But I sold it at the time because I needed the money. So I got it, I looked at it, I was like, this is nice. Looked at my bank. I was like, oh, okay. Looked on eBay, saw a load of them were selling for about 50, 60 quid. I thought, oh, all right, I'll bung it on. I've not had it long enough so I can get too sentimental over it.
Sure, yeah.
Looked it straight on, immediately regretted it once it had sold. I was like, oh. And now, can't find one for love or money. And they're all about
rare.
80, 100 quid.
Yeah.
But it's beautiful. It's the best one. It is the best one.
Yeah, it's got great like light settings on it,
So
and the
nice.
background in there of the new TARDIS.
If I ever find another one, there's two things that I would really like to have in my collection that I'm struggling to find just due to money and whatever. One is Capaldi TARDIS flight control. Two is a special weapons Dalek.
Oh,
I would absolutely love a special weapons Dalek. I'm hoping that B&M are going to sort of re-release one some point soon when they do this History of the Daleks stuff. Or Character are going to do an online exclusive. Because I would love special weapons. I've never even seen one or held one in my hands. Never. I bet you've got one, haven't you? I bet you got two of them.
I got the one.
Matt's got the best collection I think I've seen with my eyeballs ever. Have you downsized it, or have you still got everything?
No. So action figure wise, I've got
the action figures you had at home on them shelves.
So
are they still there? They honestly, it's the best one I've seen with my eyeballs.
I've got a small selection here of the 5-inch figures, and there's some actually up there in box still. I've not actually opened.
I've got a few in box. Some are behind me here where the guitar is. They're all like B&M stuff, all brand new in box.
Yeah,
a few bits.
I've got bits and bobs here. Got like a few prop replicas, some prop, that like makeshift prop that I showed last week, or the other week. But yeah, no, most of the figures are at home. But yeah, I got the one that was released in the Remembrance of the Daleks set.
Yeah,
from Forbidden Planet
way back when. Speaks as well, isn't there?
Yeah, that was released in the Talking Daleks Wave 2, I think.
Yeah.
Along with that Chase Dalek, which everyone wanted, but then it was recently released in the B&M Wave. So there's hope, Mark. There's hope.
There's hope. But yes, I like this. I think this is my favourite design of Sonic.
Is it?
Yeah, I just really like it.
Controversially.
Sorry. It's better than Whittaker's shambles of a lump of metal.
Sheffield Steel. You're from near Sheffield. You should be proud of that one.
Me? Oh, God.
Yeah.
It's just, they could have done anything with that, couldn't they? They could have actually made one like this that was Sheffield Steel and it would look nice. I'm thinking though as well, looking at it this way, it always looks like the new one that Tennant was holding.
True, yeah. It does a bit.
So there's some, maybe that it's influences from each Sonic.
Maybe. That would be cool.
Yeah, with this, if the Celestial Toymaker thing's happening, influences dragged from everywhere to who knows. But yes, no, I do like this one. I think this is my favourite design. I really like it. Obviously, I love Tennant's. Tennant's is the classic.
Sleek.
But this, I just really like the TARDIS panel design on it and just how it looks, the gold and the blue. I just think it's nice. Yeah,
I do quite like it. Yeah, it's quite nice.
I think it's nice. What's your favourite Matt Smiths in it?
Yeah, gotta be.
Just because of the flick out action.
I do like the flick and
love the
reading
flick.
it.
Yeah,
gotta love the flick.
Very cool. Because with Capaldi, we didn't have a lot of like checking a reading, did we? We just had a lot of pointless sort of like.
Yeah, and he did hold it like that, didn't he? He held it. Did it on its side.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's a nice. Ooh.
Yeah, I like it.
It's a nice one. Yeah,
I enjoy it. Anyway,
was that a Toys R Us exclusive back in the day?
I don't actually know. It might have been.
Because I remember tracking to a Toys R Us just to find one.
Yeah,
and I did.
I don't know. Like I say, I found this on Facebook Marketplace. Someone, I can't remember where, but someone was selling it. You can tell they've tampered with it because I think they've coloured over it as well with like a sort of same colour Sharpie to cover up where they've cut bits. So I keep getting bits of Sharpie flaking off on my fingers. But so it was £7 and they're about probably 50 quid now on eBay. So I thought, you know what, can't go wrong. We had it. Job's a good one. Right, Sweet. Matt. I've had a sneak preview of yours, and I'm loving it. Show us what you've got.
Okay, so little story before I start. So I live above a barber's, and then across the road there's a whole array of shops, but there's a charity shop that's quite big. I think it's St. Luke's. Not that that's important. Anyway, so they have this massive window, and in that window they obviously display stuff that's coming in and like featured stuff, like stuff that they think is going to sell, I think. So they put like rare books in the window and this, that, and the other. And one day I walk past and I see, well, I sort of half glance, and then it's sort of a double take moment of like, what is this? I swear that is something I am familiar with. And I see it in the window and I'm like, what is that? I've never seen this before, but it looks really cool. And it had a little price tag of, I think it was either 15 or 20 quid. And I was like, fair enough. So I went in and I said, can I have a look at that thing in the window? And they went, oh yeah, I wondered when that was going to go. Quite popular and all this. And I was like, yeah, you know, I'm a big fan of Doctor Who. There's your clue.
Yeah. Narrows
it down, as the Ninth Doctor would say. So yeah, and they said like it's got a bit of nick here and there, but it like pretty much like decent, you know, as it is. And yeah, so picked it up, and it's been sat on my dining room table as like a little mantelpiece thing, so everyone eats around it. It's quite
amazing.
Funny. But only recently have I moved it into my room because I've done a bit of a rejig. Anyway, I'll show you what it is. Oh, let me grab it from the bottom so I don't go toppling over. Here we go.
Look at that. What an absolute beauty.
This was an absolute cherry of a find from a local charity shop. And like I say, 15 or 20 quid. I can't remember how much. But so yeah, it's a Sideman cookie jar. Obviously based off their resurgence in Doctor Who when they came back in 2006 in Rise of the Cybermen. It's really nice. It's pot, as you can probably hear. So it's like proper sturdy. The little nick they were talking about, I don't know if you can see this. So there's a bit of a crack towards the handlebars on the top there.
Oh, yeah.
Barely noticeable, to be honest.
Exactly. Does the job.
Yeah, give it a little wipe down when I got it. And I've got a few nice sweetie treaties in there, which you probably can't see.
Lovely.
Maybe.
Yum.
Yeah, a few celebrations and things. But yeah, it's just a nice little, you put your stuff in there, you put your goodies in there, and then the head acts as a little lid, which is really cool. But yeah, I just thought it looked really nice, and it's a nice little set piece. Even on the back, they've got the detailing of the sort of two panels that run down the back. Like, they didn't have to go that hard. It's only a cookie jar.
Exactly.
But there we go.
They've gone all out. Amazing.
Gone all out for it. So yeah, can't complain really. And it always goes to show, like, you know, one man's trash is another man's treasure, as they say.
That's it.
Always check your local charity shops for little treasures like this.
I've found some good stuff.
I don't know how much this goes for nowadays. I've not really looked, but I definitely got it cheaper, I think, than what it does go for.
Amazing.
Yeah, so it's nice when you find little things like that. So
that's it.
My advice to everyone, go to your local charity shops, go to your local car boots. You never know what you might find.
Exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, there you go. There's my collector's corner for this week.
Lovely stuff.
Right.
Have we come to the end? Do we need to cover anything else?
Do we need to cover anything else? Oh, Rachel Talele has got COVID at the minute.
She's
Rachel
got
Talele.
Talale. Lovely.
Talala.
Lovely Rachel.
She's got
Bless
COVID.
Her. She got COVID, so she's doing some remote directing, isn't she, Matt?
She is. I saw a photo just before we started.
What a woman.
It's an iPad with some headphones on saying, like, directing from afar or something like that. And then she put on Twitter, one word, COVID. And I was like, oh no, bless her. So we wish her a speedy recovery so she can get back on the ground and with the actors. And see some
Jeeps getting blown up.
See more Jeeps getting blown up.
Come on, Rachel.
We might have a date for the centenary special.
Go on.
I believe it. Well, this is what's rumoured. I can't remember what page shared it, so forgive me. But the 23rd of October. It's a Sunday. Of course it's a Sunday, because that's the thing with the Whittaker era. Don't know what's going on there.
Yeah.
It was much more popular on a Saturday.
And the Christmas blooming special on Christmas Day.
Christmas, please.
Come on, Russell. Christmas Day, 7 o'clock, BBC One.
Prime time Christmas. Lovely. David Tennant. Lovely. Yeah, that'd be great. But yeah.
Right. Off you go.
Beat the Meep.
Beat the
What
Meep.
a name.
I hope they change his name. I ain't buying an action figure called Beat the Meep.
Mate, I'm buying 10 of them.
There'll be a 6-foot man
Army
in a
of Beep
rabbit
the Meep.
costume. Yeah, army building, beat the meeps.
Oh, yeah, let's get that going. Or collect and
Hashtag
build,
army build,
beat
beat the meep.
Like, it was trending on Twitter, wasn't it? Beat the meat.
I think it was beat the
When it was
meat.
when it was revealed. When that video of
up?
him doing this on the
Squatting up in
street.
Who
He was
thought of
doing
that?
this.
Beat the meat. It was the 70s, to be fair, so he's probably on some very strong stuff. What about
Some strong substances.
What about a rabbit that's from space going to beat the meat?
Write it down. Write it down.
Right, that's good. Dear
Honestly. Anyway, yeah, so 23rd of October, put it in your diaries as a potential date for the centenary special. Jodie Whittaker's swan song. Centenary, where we will see the return of Ace and that other woman whose name is gone.
Is it Tegan?
Tegan.
That's
yeah,
it.
Tegan. Yeah.
How could you forget Tegan?
I don't know, mate. When she got introduced, their auntie was reduced to a doll by the master in his TCE.
Oh no!
That was her introduction to Doctor Who. He's like, "Where's my auntie?" And they looked in the car, and there's this little doll in the car.
Brilliant.
Your auntie's dead. I'm so sorry. That was her introduction.
Then he's like,
wow.
then the doc's like, "Come with me. I'll make it all better. We'll have a lovely game of cricket."
Not before I merge with this white figure in the fields. Yes, and then I was turned to Peter Davidson.
It was you all along. You were the watcher.
All the
You were the
time.
doctor all the time. Shut up.
ADR like, added in because they were like, this doesn't make any sense. Let's get Nissa to say something here.
He was the doctor all the time.
Yeah,
So it literally says it like that as
Hello?
well. Like surprise, but knowing it's actually like to add to the plot.
Yeah.
He was the doctor all the time. Do you
Makes
believe
sense
it?
now. God. Anyway,
Oh,
yeah.
dear me.
So I think
Ace and Tegan are back.
Ace and Tegan are back, and some Daleks.
Unit's
some
back.
Cybermen, the
Kate
Master.
Stewart.
Unit.
Everyone.
Oh,
Just chuck everything at it
hour
so
and
we
a
get
half
some
of
viewing figures.
Stunning.
Hour and a half of Chibnall nonsense. I tell you. But oh well. Hopefully it'll be good. What was you saying? You're talking to your mate, sorry, about Chibnall.
Oh yeah, I was because he was asking me because he's not watched it in a while, and he was saying like, "What's going on with regeneration?" Because I swear a time I can only regenerate 13 times. I was like, "Well, up to the Matt Smith era, it was like he could.
Yeah.
Then he got a new cycle of regenerations. It kind of made sense.
Yeah.
But then you go to the Chibnall era, and it's like, well, now we don't really know because the Doctor was a child found at the bottom of this portal. A Gallifreyan found them, and then experimented on them to the point where they regenerated about 6 times. And then they took the genes from her, put it in
Everyone
themselves,
else. Yeah.
and then they were like, now we're Time Lords.
But they said they were the only Time Lords.
And they capped the limit at 13. But then is it like, can the Doctor keep regenerating?
The Doctor's unlimited because the Doctor's the one with the source of the power. The
Right.
Time Lords have capped it at 13, I think, so the Doctor doesn't get suspicious or something. Because
Yeah.
I thought about this. I thought, did the Time Lords do it for Matt Smith to just keep up appearances? As if they're like, oh, here you go. Here's another 13. Off you go. Just behave yourself. When really, he could have done it all along without them. He just
didn't
needed
believe
the
it.
placebo of thinking, oh, I can
Sure.
do it now. Hope you're ready
Okay.
for a whopper, boys! With his old...
He's like, he's old and frail, like coming up to the tower. Like,
next minute,
you're
he's
going to
like-
kill me.
And then they're like, here you go, have another regeneration. Next minute, he's like, all right, boys, here we go.
So when he takes it in his mouth and he goes,
He's like, you know what he looks like there? He reminds me of Nan from Catherine Tate.
Yeah.
He's like, come to see me, sweetheart.
come to see me, get right, sweetheart. Here we go.
Hope you're ready, boys. It's going to be a whopper. Gets his stick out, waving it around. Like,
He's loving it.
dear.
I do like that bit.
That was a
where
good episode.
he's degenerate. Love from Gallifrey, boys.
Oh, yeah, I love it.
Great. Really cool.
And then he's back to normal and you think, oh, he's not going, he's tricked us. Then he sneezes and he's Capaldi. And he's...
That's like, yeah, that
The
annoyed me.
sneeze regeneration, I didn't like that. He just went, and then that was it. It's Capaldi.
I get it because he's already done his big
Yeah.
like renewal bit, and now it just needs to change his face. But like, I'd have appreciated a bit longer of a, even if it was a little bit shorter. Like, yeah, but like the whole, it's like what?
I don't know what's happening with Whittaker's because I've heard that she regenerates underwater, she regenerates on a cliff.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Not in the TARDIS, definitely not in the TARDIS. Because you're like, oh, it's all going to be different and new. And it's like, well, Tom regenerated out of the TARDIS.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not that new. But
tell you what would be new, the Doctor actually, like, I know he's done it before for people, but say that you had a companion who was in a situation, like, say, for example, they was going to get killed by a creature. Like, what would be new is the Doctor actually, like, getting one of the aliens' blasters and, like, killing himself in order to, like, use regeneration energy to wipe out all the... You know how he did with the Daleks? To wipe out all the aliens and then save the companion. That would be, like, original and new. Because the Doctor's never done, like, actually just gone, oh, shit, there's no way out now. I'll just have to... And then... regenerate. I mean,
yeah, like
he's done it before with Wilf, obviously, like when he went and saved Wilf, but he's never actually gone like.
But with Peter Davison in Caves of Androzani.
Oh yeah.
I think he like
spectrotoxemia.
Yeah, they were both poisoned, weren't they? And then he got the antidote just for Perry, so she could survive. But then obviously he's gonna regenerate.
So there's kind of
it's like similar, but I get what you mean. Like the companion is
nothing new, is it?
Messed.
Yeah.
Like it's say if like when Bill got shot through the chest, like if Capaldi then went right, shoot me now, so then he regenerated, put the energy into her so she could survive.
Exactly. Yeah. Something like that. Something new like that. That would shock the shock factor for the audience. Like the Doctor's just fucking shot himself.
Yeah.
Never done that. Yeah, you know what I mean. So. I think there just needs to be more. I don't think Chibnall took enough risks. There wasn't enough shock.
Yeah.
Like, you know when, like, Stolen Earth, when Rose and the Doctor meet each other again, Dalek comes out of nowhere, bang. You're thinking, oh, shit. Like, he's going to regenerate now. There's nothing like that, really, in the Chibnall. There's nothing shocking.
Hopefully, in this centenary, we see something that we go, wow, okay, that's cool.
Exactly.
And it's
Finish
not all
your
just
era
like...
on a high, Chris.
Yeah.
Finish it on a high with fans going, you know what? That centenary was pretty good. Nice setup for Tennant coming back.
Yeah.
Well done. Pat on the back. You've redeemed yourself.
Do you think we're going to see Tennant at the end of the centenary?
I said to my mate, it would be good, but I don't know if it's going to happen, but it would be good if Tennant, because of the relationship that Chibnall and Tennant have as well from Broadchurch, if we got the regeneration in the middle of the episode. So then the second half is Tennant trying to sort out what's going on. And then we get the clear up then with Yaz, whatever happens with Yaz. Like, oh, you're not the Doctor I love anymore, I'll see you in a bit or whatever. You get the clear up with her. And then you get the link in to then starting with Donna fresh.
Sure.
Because you're going to have the clear up with all of them, Dan and Yaz clearing off, aren't you?
Yeah.
You know. So I just don't know how that's
going to work. Because they're nowhere to be seen.
Exactly. So I just, I don't know how that's going to work. Because if you do it in 5 minutes, it's a bit too rushed. It's like, oh yeah, bye, see you. Like, the Doctor wouldn't really be like that. So I'm wondering if we're going to have a little longer, maybe last 15 minutes. Maybe. Yeah. Something, I don't know. But I think it's going to be a substantial time of Tennant in the centenary, I think. There needs to be for it to flow into the next one. Or do you reckon we're just going to see a regenerate and not see a face and that's it at the end?
Well, I think the lads at the Review of Death, I don't know if you listen to their podcast, it's Matthew Toffolo and Billy Garrett John. Great YouTubers. Batman March is Billy.
Yes, Batman March.
Matt's channel, Matt Toffolo. They were talking about how you can bet your life that once the end of the episode's come and like Jodie's regenerating, Tennant appears and he goes, what? And you get that and classic end of, and you go, oh, possibly. Here we go. Like it's like a classic Tennant in RTD era, finish to a story where he's confused. and it would be like the perfect like, oh, he's back, and so is RTD.
That's
do
true.
you know what I mean?
That's true.
Because they've been filming pictures, I remember, of the centenary where it seems like the Doctor's dropping Yaz and Dan off.
Oh right.
And spoilers ahead. I don't know if you've seen this. Spoilers ahead. John Bishop Dan is talking to Bradley Walsh, aka Graham.
Really? I don't think I've seen that. Very cool.
There's a picture of them talking together.
Yeah.
And obviously they're on set, so it's like, oh, obviously Graham's going to come back and in some way and be like, oh yeah, when I was with the Doctor, this happened, and you can tell that they're going to become mates maybe on the Earth, which would be nice. Excuse me. But yeah, it seems like there's going to be an element of Tennant's regeneration where Jodie's going to be like, I need to do this by myself now.
Yeah.
Thank you for everything, kind of thing. Drop them off and then go to this cliff top / to some water.
Yeah.
And regenerate.
Do it. Yeah.
That's what I think is going to happen. And yeah, right at the end, Tennant's going to appear and everyone's going to be like, oh my God. Yeah. And then it's going to lead into the 60th anniversary.
Yeah, because I think you need Tennant at the end. They can't just do a like mid-regeneration, go to credits, and then the first RTD episode starts with it being Tennant's face. I don't think you can have that. I think you do need the regeneration in this centenary.
Yeah.
So it can all start fresh.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very good.
Only a few months to find out now.
Exactly.
What happens
next
in the finale of Jodie's story. Right, I think we've got everything.
It's been a pleasure, as always.
Mate.
Always. Tonight's just been off the rails. It could end up being a 10-minute thing because we had to probably cut that much out. It's just been a fun one tonight. It's just been really funny.
Wild and fun, and that's what we like. That's what we're here for.
You know, normal content will resume in the next episode.
Sometime soon.
But tonight, it's just been a funny one. We've just been laughing.
We've been wild and free.
We have.
I was going to say, opening up to our viewers, whoever's out there.
Yes.
If you would like to see a certain thing talked about in either Tea Time Telly, or if you want to know more about our collection in Collector's Corner, maybe give us some suggestions, or
maybe the most expensive thing we've got in the collection.
Maybe, give us a subtitle for that, and we'll try and match
see what
that
we can do
with what we've got to hand.
Yes.
But yeah, awesome. Cheers, Mark. Thank you for chatting
Mark.
once again.
Always a pleasure.
He has been Mark Page.
He's been Matt Parker. And you've been listening to the Parker and Page podcast.